Hi again. Hope I'm not jinxing you here, but actually, going back to last season, your unbeaten run is actually Liverpool's longest for 32 years. So I was just wondering, where did the belief come from? Because you consider where the club was, where you were, the struggles when this run started. How did you keep the belief, or what is it that sort of has been the springboard for this, do you think? It's pretty extraordinary given where you were.
You mean at the start or last year or what? Sorry.
Well, at the start, this run began. The last time you were beaten was Real Madrid.
Okay.
In League and Cup. So
since then.
23, so it's 23 games, and it's the longest previous is 1989, 24 games. So.
Okay.
So
we had to as we said it a lot of times, we had to find solution last year, and maybe we didn't do all of them right. That's how it is. When you are under pressure, time-wise, you have to make this decision for 2 days after and stuff like this. And I think in the moment when we started playing and trusting 100% Reece and Nate, in that moment, all the other things fell in place as well. And that's when we got stability back, and that's when we were much more ourselves again than before. And that was then probably, not losing at all a game since then is for sure. That in moments we needed luck or whatever, a late goal or these kind of things. But in general, we know when we are on top of our game, we are difficult to play. When we are difficult to play, that means we have a chance to win the game, and that's what we try. And obviously, we didn't win all of them; we drew a lot. But that's most of the draws were probably closer to a win than that we could have lost the game. So that just shows. But we feel really responsible for performing, I can tell you. So that's and the boys do as well. It's not that we want to get through a game somehow. We want to be, the best version of ourselves in these games, and that's what we try all the time. And it doesn't work out all the time, but that doesn't mean before the next one we shouldn't try again. And that's exactly what will happen again on Saturday. And there's no guarantee that you then get any kind of results. But for me, it's still the only chance to have the opportunity to get a result, and that's what we try. But we tried it, I tell you, before the Real Madrid away game as well. It just didn't work out that well, probably because of some poor decisions of mine.
But did you ever have any doubt? I mean, sometimes when a club's on a rise like you were and they have a little bit of a dip, it's hard to get it back. But because of different reasons last year, did you ever have any doubt that this team would rise again without making massive changes? You did say you didn't need things.
No. No, I didn't doubt it, but I didn't really think about it. So it's always, if we go now back again to the transfer business or whatever, it's always a mix of what you want, what you can get, stuff like this. And then, but it was always clear last year. It just, honestly, just you all forgot it. How massive a difference it is when you lose pretty much your whole defense in the middle of in October. Pretty much it was around about now, I think, and then from that on we had to juggle around with injuries, Champions League, all cup competition and stuff like this. That's really a big problem. But everybody expects you still to win all the games. You're still Liverpool. There come out a few injuries. Everybody has a few injuries, but not on one position. And that was our problem. So when we solved that problem, it was clear that we will be better again. And that's the situation now. That doesn't mean we will win because if there's any kind of competition, but it gives us a chance, and we never needed more. And it's really, I think in life it's really important that you stay calm when everybody is really excited. So, and that's what we try to do, to make the right decisions in these moments. And we are happy with the squad we have. But we have a lot of problems in the moment. We have midfield players out. It was we had 8 midfield players when the season started. Now around about 4 in the moment. So it's not too cool. So, but there are always problems. We just have to try to sort them. And you can never, I don't know a solution for these kind of problems, which you can buy in the transfer window. That you say, okay, another 4 or 5 players, and you will never have that problem again in any position. That's maybe true, but you can never have the atmosphere in a squad, which is much more important to win something with a squad with 40 players. That's just not possible. So, because we spoke about it, you have to keep the players happy, or you have to I'm not sure that's the right saying, but the players need to see that they have a chance to get in the team if they perform on their highest level, and that's with 40 players obviously not the case, and that's probably the only solution for injury crises when you have that amount of players. So we cannot solve that. Means you have to take what you get, to use what you get or got, and then play the best possible football.
Thanks, Chris. We go to Craig, then we go to Richard, and Paul goes to finish. I can't take any more hands in this section, but Craig, yes.
Hi, Jurgen. I mean, no disrespect to Brighton, this question, but ordinarily on paper you might look at tomorrow's game and think that it would be a chance to perhaps rest someone like Mo Salah, given the game's coming up against Madrid. And well, I love your reaction. That's the question. Is that a conversation you've ever had with Mo, and how does that go? Because he seems like somebody who would want to play every minute of every game.
Yes, he wants, but still never did it. But he wants that. That's true. But so forget pretty much the first part of your question completely, please. And to rest players against Brighton, that would be a crime, actually. Brighton is much too good. They had a brilliant start. Yes, now the last few results were maybe not exactly like they wished for, but that's a real special game in the league. It's a real special game. If you didn't watch it yet, watch the City game back, and you understand immediately what I'm talking about.
But on the wider point of Mo, I think is Craig's question.
Yeah, but what was on the wider point?
Is it difficult? Is it basically saying, Craig? Is it difficult? Mo doesn't want to be rested, I guess.
No, none of them actually. And if then in other games. So it's always never the game I choose when I rest somebody. It's never for the player. It's never the game they want to get rested. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But Greg, when I have you there and I see you for Daily Mail, I have to make one point because I really think it's an important one. And I'm pretty sure it was not you or whatever. But
it didn't originate in that paper, by the way.
Sorry?
It didn't originate in the Daily Mail. It was the Athletic.
Yeah, it was the Athletic, I know. But the story, so because we all think when somebody says fake news, that's not right, something, they think, yeah, something is in it. But a real fake news story last week was that I thought United should have had more red cards. I didn't think a second about it. Not a second. We're sitting in the dressing room. There was not one talk, and it was like the Athletic said something. What people close to the stuff or whatever, which is I always find is a really dangerous saying, said that Klopp thought they should have 3-4 more red cards. And honestly, for all of you, and in this case the Athletic or whatever, you cannot do these kind of things. It's just not right. It's just wrong. It's a lie. We didn't think about it. We didn't speak about it, not for a second. I couldn't have told you which situations they were talking about. We spoke about, obviously, the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, and from my view where I was, I thought, yes, it could be a red card. But when I saw it back, I saw he hits the ball. Yes, it's a dark yellow, completely fine. No problem with that. But we never spoke about that. It was one question in the press conference, that's it. It's not the most important thing. Just it's a sign. Why would you make a story like that? And it's just, wow. And just enough United and Liverpool stories, obviously, last week. Nobody needed that one on top of that. It's just to show a little bit, you have to be serious in these things. All of you cannot do these kind of things just to sell a few lines or whatever. Because, so there was with Pogba something, I think a story where he said it's fake news. So we have really, so these are real fake news, not what Trump was talking about. These were really real fake news.
Okay, that's nothing to do yet. Okay, we'll go to Richard Tanner next, and then we'll go to Paul Gust.
It was just about Konate, Jurgen. It's notoriously difficult for players coming from abroad to adapt to the Premier League. He seems to, I know he's not had much game time, but certainly against United he looked a class act. How impressed have you been with his adaptation? And also, are you thinking of a run in the side for him now?
Ivo is an incredible talent, obviously, so he came really young to Germany, and that's a tough league to play. For a young centre-half, did there incredibly well. So came over to England, actually, when you see him, he's built for the Premier League. Physique-wise, he's a machine, has the speed we need, likes challenges, has a really good football knowledge, like anticipating situations early, all these kind of things. So it's a package, really good package. But how I said, we have now a bunch of really good centre halves, to be honest. So we just have to make sure we use them in the right moments. Yes, no, I'm not surprised. You never know how long things will take, but he's a really good boy, completely in the group here, and that helped obviously, not only the French. Actually, he speaks really well English, which is a little bit of a surprise for a French guy who was in Germany, but his English is really good, and so that helped him with the group as well. And so, yeah, so far, so really good.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
And we'll finish with Paul Gorst. I did say I couldn't take any more hands, so apologies. Paul's the last hand in this section. Paul.
Yeah, again, just going back to Thiago for a moment. He obviously hasn't played much of late. You said he's going to miss tomorrow. Do you think it's going to be a case now of waiting until after the international break before we see him at his absolute best, if he gets a couple of weeks training during the break?
Yeah, until we see him at his absolute best, probably, because he needs now training, and hopefully he can just train from now on. But we have 3 games with them tomorrow, in between now and then, and so I wouldn't not rule him out for the next games if he trains normal. And then it's about is he ready to get minutes? Maybe I get now downstairs or wherever to sports science, and they told me that yesterday everything looked like he could have gone like 460 minutes, and then I say, okay, then let's have a look if we can use him for tomorrow for a few minutes. I don't expect that, but the plan is actually that he has now really a block of a few days with proper training on the pitch with the ball and with the team, plus extra training, and so yeah, we have Wednesday, we have then Sunday, but after the international break, I expect him 100% to be back. But he wants to be back earlier, but we have to see if that's possible.
Mm. Are you expecting him to go with Spain during the break, or?
Sorry? No. I don't expect him, but that doesn't mean anything. No, I have no idea. Sorry. But he was injured the whole time, but I don't know. He was not last time with them. I don't know how they are in talks. I didn't speak to Thiago about that yet. Don't know.